All right, this is mostly just going to be a VOD, so we'll just get into it real quick. I was going to abandon this strategy, but then I got on today and I did a bunch of the leftover maps that I had from running it earlier, and I just started spitting divine orbs out. And so I wanted to give it another attempt and see if I could form it into an actual strategy here. And I think I have an idea of how to do it. I think what I want to do is put in the tablets as I go. The biggest problem I had with this was the setup process. And what I ended up getting back from it when I took into account the setup process and potentially the cost of the tablets, it really felt like it wasn't going to be worth the time. But after farming a bunch of these breaches, I was able to get a ton of tablets back that were quantity with percent for additional breach. So I think I may be able to sustain the tablets. I wasn't able to get these back perfectly. I had to annul and augment to get a lot of these, but we're going to give it a shot here. I kind of have a rough idea of how we're going to do this now from doing it yesterday, so I think I can make it a little bit more of a smoother experience. So I'll put this in the details of the stream, and then I'm going to pull it off to the side of my screen. But basically, what I'm going to do is go through and uh, these are my triple prefix monster maps. Probably not going to get too many of them. These here are my double prefix uh, maps that I'm going to pull out, and then I'm going to try and val them and see if I can get them to go into three prefix. And if they go into three prefix, then I'll save them, put them aside, and run them later when I have the tower set up. And for the double prefix ones, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use them while pathing through to each tower. Um, yeah, I'm not sure where I'm at there on the map, but I'll figure it out when I go to run them. First, we need to pull out the map. So I'm going to pull this over to the side now to kind of explain what I'm doing just to make this a little easier. And I imagine last time I think I got like 5 maps. Oh shit, I should do the other tab too. I'm running all the way down to tier 13 maps um, because I think the currency doesn't make that big of a difference. I could be really screwing myself with this. I don't actually know this for sure. What I do know is that running like a tier 13 map is going to ruin stuff like bases, like stellar amulets. Won't be sellable if I find them under a tier 15. I'm pretty sure. Let's double check that real quick. Take a look at our bases. Pretty sure they have to be 79 plus. Mm-mm-mm. Let's do this because a lot of these guys aren't listing what their bulk dash bases. I want to sell PoE2. We'll do stellar. Um, yeah, 79 plus. Okay, so stellar amulets are worthless if they drop into tier 13 or 14, basically. But I'm hoping the currency won't be that big of a difference. The only way I can see sustaining these maps is if I run higher than a tier 13 or tier 14. This is looking almost a little worse off than it did yesterday as far as the maps just being ready to go. Or actually, I got, was this 5? Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's about the same. Alright, so these ones are ready to go. These we put aside when the towers are fully set up. Alright, so these are good. I saved a couple from just mapping around that I saw that were good, so in total so far, from quad tab and a third or so, in total it's 5 divine and exalted orb slams, uh, 738 maps. We pull out 10. So now let's see if we can improve that. We will start going into our double prefix. Which hopefully will val into a triple prefix. If it doesn't, then it'll just be used as a travel map. Definitely a lot more of these. When I came back yesterday, today, I ran a bunch of the breaches on the double prefixes that I have, and I just started getting like an insane amount of divines. I think when I started this test yesterday, I had 131 divines, and then when I finished running the maps today, no way, dude, an Astromentus, that's insane. Your first try, your first Stellar Amulet and first Chance Orb, you got Astromentus. That's crazy. Yeah, that's pretty lucky, man. Um, Probably not a ton of PoE1 players in here, but I got a Mage Blood doing a tier 8 breach the last league I played. It was insane. It was like the luckiest I've ever been on this game. First time I rolled it to 99 as well. Should just quit now. Yeah, man, sometimes it feels like that, dude. It's like you're not gonna get that lucky again for 5 more leagues. I'll get a bunch. Okay. I'm going down the list here. Actually, this is kind of a self-made list, so I don't know. He gave me an order of what he thinks is best to worst. This is kind of just something I made myself to filter out some double mods. But we'll go ahead and put these in here. If I could pull out like 10 divine an hour, I would think about posting this strategy, but I couldn't really get a good feel for it. Videos are amazing. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I've been doing my best to improve and get better at making them. This is the one I just did. Yep. One thing I will say, if you guys try to make your own regex, when not going great, yeah, man, that's how I felt about it yesterday too. But once I got on today, it was going insane, and so I was gonna abandon it yesterday, and that's kind of why I just ended the stream. I was like, I'm gonna go for an hour, and then I got half an hour in, and I was like, man, I'm just not really feeling it. I don't think this is the way. This is something I would do. But then once I got on today, I just was like raining divines, and I was like, hold on, I gotta try this again. Oh yeah, what I was saying earlier, I started it with like 131, and then after today mapping a bit, I had like 180 divines, and it was like crazy. And so it's like maybe I need to give this another shot and give it now that I've kind of got the idea of what I'm doing sorted out. Maybe I can smooth this out a bit and turn it into an actual strategy. But what I noticed, if you're trying to include gold, you see how long this line is here. I had to select 80 gold, and we'll just say rares or whatever, and match when all mods are found. But I had to do this. Match numbers over 100% takes up more space, because when I did this one, it wasn't actually showing me the regex for gold. Something is wrong with the gold. So if you end up going and making one of these yourself, just be a little wary. This regex isn't quite perfect yet, or maybe I was just using it wrong. But um, yeah, it's important to know. Yeah, a lot of work, but not a lot of return. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt about it. And then, like I said, I got on today, and it just like went crazy, and I was like, maybe I can try this a little bit better. Um, but yeah, that is exactly how I felt about it too. But it looks like we got quite a few usable maps here. This is going to be kind of annoying to do on stream. Maybe I should have done this beforehand, but I kind of wanted to show the whole process in case anyone wanted to come back into the VOD and see exactly what I was doing, because if I do end up making a video for this, I'm not going to show this whole process most likely. So bear with me here while we do the most fun part of Path of Exile 2. And Astromantis on your first chance, dude. That's really sick. I mess with them here and there. I'll just like throw a couple chance orbs at some stellar amulets that I have. Normally I'll put a post up to sell them on TFT, and then if I don't get a response within like 2 posts, then I just chance them myself, and never lucky. Yeah, 8. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That's exactly what I tried to. I think I tried it with like 10 or something like that, and yeah, I did not hit the Astromantis. I think I watched, who was it, MB Extreme. There's been a couple streamers that have done like a whole quad tab worth and found like 0 to 1. So I definitely wasn't holding my breath. I think the way this is going to go, I'm hoping, is that throughout the tower setup process, you're going to get like probably a divine every 3 maps. And then once the towers are set up, we'll run the big ones. And I'm hoping to get 1 a map would be ideal, obviously. But based on what I saw yesterday, I don't know if that'll be the case. I did lower his values yesterday a little bit, which, you know, according to what he was saying, basically you need enough rarity to convert the gold into currency, or just convert, you know, whatever the natural drops are into currency. And somebody was saying that you need 40 chaos orbs per divine yesterday, which when I'm running with just like a single modifier or a double modifier even that's like low values, I definitely see needing 40 chaos per 1 divine. But when I run on the super juiced ones, it doesn't seem like I need that many chaos to get 1 divine. It seems like the stuff is like kind of multiplying off itself and dropping me rare currency a little more often. But yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. This is definitely gonna be my last attempt at this. I was gonna give it up yesterday because I was just bored, but I don't feel like I gave it an honest effort. So we'll see. I don't really know yet as far as the breakpoints for quantity and rarity. I mean, all I can really do is go off of what the guy said. Um, so his thresholds for values are 15% quant, which I don't even think you can do 15% with the regex, because you see how it says like 4 to 9. That's basically 40% to 90%, or maybe 40% to infinite. I don't know exactly how the regex is worked out, but if I were to drop it to 15, I think it would just put the value to 1, so it would be 10% up. But you know, the 80, the 40, and the 80 should work. So what I've done is I've gone in and changed the 80 down to 70 for the triple ones, just to get me a little more high tier maps, but I've stayed pretty close to what he's doing on the doubles. I think I might have dropped the rarity down. I don't remember exactly what I did, but just as much as I can get, really. I'm not that much of a mathematician. Does it look good and feel good? Then we'll run it. In order to get like real answers on like how well this would do, you'd have to run so many breaches and different layouts and zones, and I mean, this is at best just gonna get us like in the ballpark of whether it's worth the time or not. Potentially, I run out of. I think I'm broke. I went and spent 180 divine on a new wand, 40 divine on some new gloves, and a bunch of divine on some new jewels to hopefully not die as much this time. But now it looks like I'm broke. I thought I had enough currency, or I thought I had everything set up so I didn't have to worry about currency as far as setup goes, but 17. can I buy? I can actually see how many exalts I have. 136. Oh, whoa, these got cheap. How I got the tablets on this is still like a little I'm a little uncertain because we'll see after this one. The last test was a little sporadic because I just did like a couple different areas and I want to try and tighten it up a little bit. Just gonna run like kind of a not optimal section because I don't really want to just like pick out the best section and then get the most insane juice and be like, look how much money you can make if you have the absolute perfect setup. That doesn't really make any sense. So I kind of want to pick a less optimal one and see what we're looking like. And I forgot to do a map. But I did get a lot of breach tablets back. The way I got, I think I talked about it earlier, but basically if it hits additional breach or it hits quantity, then I took the chance to annul off one and then just kept augmenting to see if I could hit the other. And it ended up paying off for me. I think these tablets are worth it. If you're going to put this much effort into rolling your maps, then I think the additional breaches are worth it. And they're especially worth it, I think, because whenever you proc um, your remnants of power and it doubles the effect, and that means that you'll have a double effect on the chance for the breach. So that means not only is your quantity going to get doubled, but now you're going to have more breaches. So I think it's the way to go. But I don't know. I might have burnt too much money trying to roll the tablets like that. Maybe just straight quantity would be better. This is all kind of experimental. I do not want to Valorb the triple prefixes, the ones that are already good, because I don't want a chance for them to break with how rare they are. Okay. Guess now we will go back in and see if we got... Whoa, what happened there? Quantity... Oh no. The regex for rare monsters isn't going to work because I put Ellie on it. Sucks. We're going to have to hand pick this out, I guess. Damn, it really sucks. The regex shows it shows the implicit, or counts it. So we got gold, rarity. Dude, this is such a pain in the ass that you have to do it like this. Gold rarity, just a double. Gold rarity, just a double. This one died. Quant rarity. This is a triple. The rare monsters have an additional modifier. It's a double. This one died. It's a double still. This is a double. Double. And it's kind of like a weak triple. Triple. That one died. Dude, this is horrible. I didn't think I was gonna have to do it like this. That's okay. I guess it's not gonna really take that long, but this is a little bit boring, that's for sure. It's a double still. Gotta pay attention to that rare monster modifier. It likes to fall on the bottom of the map, and my eyes don't always catch it. That's like a quadruple. Kind of low value on the rare monsters, but that's a pretty nasty one. That's a double. That's a triple, but 17% rare monsters is kind of whatever. Dun, dun, dun. It's a double, I guess. Pretty low values. Rarity. It's a triple. Double, double. That's a kind of a weak triple. That one died. Triple. It's well, I mean, these values are kind of low on some of these. He definitely recommended not like considering those as good, but it looks like I'm gonna have enough pathing ones that I can take some weaker triples. Maybe with doing it like this, I could have actually brought the triple numbers up a bit, but we're gonna run it like this. Quantity and rarity. That one died. That one is good. That one died. Dead. It's a weak triple. Double. Oh, this guy penetrates and it's kind of low. Kind of sick of the penetrates, to be honest. It ends up scaling up to like 40% LE pen, and it's just brutal. It died way more than I wanted to yesterday. I don't really care about losing the currency, but as far as just like making it test, that's a triple. It sucks when you lose out currency on some of your best maps. It really messes with the numbers of what it could be. It's dead. It's a triple. It's a pretty big triple. Dead. It's a triple. Man, I'm getting. Okay, I can see how he said he got 30 or 40 maps now. When I first tried this yesterday, I was like, there's no way. Rares, rarity, triple or double. Double. Yep, yep, yep. All right, so these are my pathing maps. Let's do some quick math before we get started so I can try and get some accurate numbers this time, or some in the ballpark numbers. So we got 36, what would that be? 48 minus 1, so 47. And so that's 47. Plus 10, 11, plus 11. What did we, 4 wide? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 4, 24, 25, 26. 26. So, maps, paranoid. All right, and then these all bricked. All right. Take note of what time my stream is on here. 26 minutes in. All right. Get the pathing maps ready. Now I need to figure out where the hell I'm at here. It's running just a bunch of random maps, and now I'm totally lost. I think I was right here. Okay. So I think the way I would run this, if I was to run it as an actual strategy, is this is the area I was doing yesterday. So what I would do is just do these inner maps and then leave these outer maps like this. And then when I went to go set up a new set of towers, then I would just start running these on the way to the towers and rush the towers, and then try not to do the outer maps, but I would save the outer maps for when I set up the next set of towers. So I'm always trying to like maximize the value I'm getting out of the tablets and these inner towers while I'm pathing. I hope that made sense, but we'll just start on Oasis here with a pathing map into Decay and then start juicing up these towers. This looks like a pretty weak tower area, but I kind of want to do that just to be fair with like a realistic area. So let's get into it. Hopefully through the upgrades I won't catch some random deaths. I was recording a video for myself yesterday while also streaming, and I think it might have just been too heavy on the PC. I was just getting like, didn't have much time to react as I normally would. I imagine these pathing maps aren't going to be too crazy, but I think the idea that I have here is just to try and get a little bit of extra currency out of the setup process, and then we'll get the bulk of the currency once everything is set up. But yeah, we've added like 30% more energy shield and a ton more damage, so... Oh, dude, I didn't see it was an expedition. I should have ran a tier 79 plus here. Can't really get any value out of those logbooks now. What's up, Nick? Welcome in, man. You're taking our stab at min-maxing Reach the way I would do it while using the guide off of somebody else's work. I'm doing my best to see if I can make it insanely profitable. We'll see. I'm not convinced yet, but... How's the video look? Sound? All that good stuff. I watched the VOD back, like, skip through it a little bit, and dude, it was like 240p, bro. I didn't know the stream looked so bad yesterday. It was terrible. Navigating through all these little ruins are pretty annoying. Pretty ugly looking breach, but only a 36% quantity. Hopefully as we start getting some towers plugged in, we will start seeing a little bit better. Probably just going to skip this expedition. Normally I would run it, but I messed up putting the tier 14 in. I'm gonna need more in the quad tab to do this test. I might have to empty one out or figure something out. Dude, the cast speed on this wand feels so much better. It's been 180 divine on the wand, and like I went to download POV, but it says you can't import characters. You have to still waiting on GGG to give them that function. And I was like, I'm not gonna hand build out my whole character. I'll just spend the 180 divine, and whatever happens, happens, I guess. But the wand definitely feels better, that's for sure.
It's about time.
Another thing I wish I would add is I wish it would display, even if they don't want to show you exactly where the breaches are, I wish it would display exactly how many you had somewhere. Sometimes you're just trying to clear the map out, seeing if there's another one there. You get that like faint purple glow that kind of guides you, but you can't see it from very far away.
Death is my power to wield.
Oh, the map's complete. Guess I could just run like random whatever maps in here that I picked up. To the stat stacker, I'm not sure. I haven't played it. Are you talking about Fub Gun's Gemling stat stacker? Or which one are you talking about? Ooh, my delays. Really long. Still in the map on that other video. Or maybe that's just what I'm seeing because you responded already. Uh, I don't know. I haven't played it. It looks insane. I kind of skipped through the video a little bit. But it looked crazy. I mean, looks fun. I think I want to save the... we'll do a good one here. $220k damage. It's pretty fat. Doesn't blink. Yeah, that's what I was feeling like when I was watching it too. I was like, man, this looks insane. But there's just the one thing I really love about the Temporalis is the just being able to get around the map so fast. Kind of want to kill this crypt. We didn't land a breach on it, so maybe I'll path. Kind of want to save Savannah and Meyer C notes. Yeah, all these kind of suck. So I think we'll... I don't know if I'm too concerned about killing Crypt if I'm not going to go that way. I think we'll just run Sump. Oh, on the stat stacker? Really? It looked like he was just breezing through stuff, but, you know, it was the video he chose to show, so he probably didn't show any of the maps where he got his ass kicked. But, yeah, it looked like it was just obliterating everything. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this thing pretty much clears... I mean, it clears pretty quick. Kind of hard to compete with the instant blink. Damn. Hey, you guys were somebody was talking about running the Zest Madness yesterday, and I thought about it later. I didn't understand why he was saying it was good until today when I was thinking about it more. And he's saying that it's good because the Soul Eater adds one additional modifier to the rare, which then gives basically gives the rare monster more rarity by adding an additional modifier. But how common is the Soul Eater? Like, does every rare in the breach have it, or is it just a chance to spawn? Because the catalyst part of that node wouldn't really be worth the time. So the only thing that would be good from it is getting the extra rarity from the modifier.
All part of my plan.
So one of those guys is like a little Luca. And this is, oh, it's not doubled. Wow. Kind of surprised I didn't get a divine out of that one. I may end up getting screwed by choosing tier 13s too. I haven't really been able to find any information on whether the currencies lessen them or not. I can't see why it would be though. I remember early on in the league, I used to use, like when I was doing tower setup process, I would use a bunch of low tier maps that I had, like tier 1 through 10, to do the tower setup process because I didn't really know much about the game and I didn't realize like setting the towers up as you go can make you a lot more money. And while doing that, I would see a lot of divines drop. Like doing a whole tower setup, I sometimes see 3, 4, 5 divines drop. And so it started making me think like maybe the map tier isn't as big of a deal on Path of Exile 2 as it is on Path of Exile 1.
I speak.
I don't even want to run Mire. It's so bad. Mire and Crypt, man, they just like make me mad. It's basically impossible to get value out of Mire on a breach. Like I'm tempted to not even open it, to be honest.
It's about time.
Watch it give me like a Mirror Conjure or something.
I need more time. None can oppose me.
It's such a shame too, man. I love this map. Like it's such a cool concept. Walking on a wood plank on top of some swamp. Like it's such a badass idea for a map. It just sucks they made it so narrow and so awkward to traverse. And they also, I think, when you're playing through the campaign and you hit this on what is it? Freyhorn is the name of it. When you're in the campaign, I noticed when playing through the campaign that they added a sound file for walking over it. I think it's the only sound file in the game is when you're going through Freyhorn. It's like the sound of you walking on wood. Could be wrong about that, but let's go. Let me hit. But it just sounds so cool. Like I really love the concept for it, but they just kind of bricked it by making it
All part of
so
my plan.
skinny. There's really, even if you're not running Reach, there's just no league mechanic that feels good on this. The only time I don't mind it is when I'm doing the rare monster quantity with one additional modifier tablet type thing. When you're running that strategy, no, you don't care about any of the layouts because you're just killing the rare monsters. You're in stats? Yeah, give me a second. Is using tablets go worth it? In my experience, that's kind of what I've been finding out. I think I like it more, but I tried the set strategy yesterday when I set everything up first, and it didn't feel like it was worth the time. So now I want to give it a bit of a different attempt to see if setting up as we go is worth it. This is the wand. This is 180 divine. You don't need anything this crazy, um, but I had the money, so I spent it. But the biggest things you're looking for is the extra damage as and the crit chance. Um, I mean, you want all of it, but the extra damage as is is where a lot of the damage comes from. Just some stats with some resistance and rarity. Just a whatever temporalis. Cast speed, resistance, rarity, mana, a little bit of life. Acquire the storms. 20 spirit gold circlet. And I also had to get a spirit notable passives to be able to fit all the ores that I wanted to. Just a really, really big spirit offhand. Some mana and regen. Boots are mandatory. 74% ingenuity. And I just picked these up for like 30 or 35 divine. I don't know if they're worth it or not, but I had the money, so I bought them. I haven't really been watching the market, so I don't know if this is worth 180 or if these are worth 30. I have no idea. I just saw them and bought them. And passive points, yeah. Um, that's part of the tree. And here's the other part. And go down into here. Sorry, you'll have to go back and pause section by section. Um, I went into the energy shield here because I got killed a couple of times yesterday on some really important maps, and I don't want to mess the testing up. So I picked up some more energy shield. Went up to 4,500 and cut out quite a bit of damage. My crit chance is 81%, but it goes up to 96% once I start attacking. Ideally, you'd want to be at 100% with this build. But through the power charge generation and stuff, you'll go up to 96% once you start killing things. And then Voracious on the Anoint. Why would it be better not use tablets? I'm starting to think that it's not better. I think when you consider the time it takes to set up and stuff, like I would rather a couple of breaches fall in bad maps and me just constantly be making money the whole way versus basically making nothing for an hour, hour and a half setting up. It just doesn't feel good to me. Even if it's better, like it just doesn't feel good. Um, but I don't know. I don't really know what I made yesterday because I was doing a lot of testing and just kind of figuring out how I wanted to go about the strategy. So uh, I don't really know exactly what I made, to be honest. Like on an on
It's
a
about
per hour
time.
basis. I hate to use the word per hour on this game because there's so many weird factors. On Path of Exile 1, you can just buy a bunch of scarabs and set up a bunch of maps, and then you can give like an accurate per hour type of thing. But with this game, there's just so much variance. And some hours you're making a lot, some hours you're not making much, and so yeah, per hour thing is a little hard to say. But am I going a curse with something?
I need more time.
My blink is like a limit rated right now. Yeah, earlier when I got it to be like raining divines, it was going back through and doing all the double mod maps like I'm doing here, and it was not even on that crazy of maps, like 50, 60, 70% quant. And it's very possible I just got really lucky back to back. Like, it definitely happens in this game, but it made me think that maybe I don't need to optimize getting like the best tablets and best towers and stuff. Maybe just cruising through, trying to keep up speed will end up paying more in the long run. You might, maybe, I don't want to say you could because I haven't tried it, but you might be able to get away with doing it without the temporalis. I don't know. It might feel too clunky, but you could possibly get away with just like starting it for 20 divine or so and blinking slower. It's like if I were just to blink once, you know, run around, and then when I see a pack of enemies, just blink. I mean, it pretty much kills everything on the screen once you blink once. So, I don't know. I don't want to say do it because I haven't tried it, but you might be able to get away with it. And I bricked another expedition here by not running a 70, 79. I gotta start paying attention to that. And logbooks, man. I think they're up to .9 to 1 divine now. I'm gonna have to do a test for if I wish I liked bossing more. Because I feel like logbooks would be insane money just to run like 100 logbooks or something like that. They cost as much as they cost because people are making a lot of money off them. I think these towers will be some weaker tablets. Oh yeah, manual cast spark. That actually makes more sense. I could definitely see that. Yeah, yeah. It could be a little too clunky with using the blink as your trigger. Temporalis? No, the lightning bolt comes from your Choir of the Storm. The cast on critical and cast on dodge. Well, the cast on dodge is casting your spark, so whenever you blink, you cast your spark, and then cast on critical does like some frostwall stuff. Um, but your damage is coming from the greater lightning bolt that comes off of your Choir of the Storm. And yeah, what he's talking about is not triggering spark with blink if you didn't have temporalis because you wouldn't be able to blink as much, so it could create some tricky situations. So instead you just put spark as a main casting ability. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Uh,
How can I help?
yeah, this is gonna be a really bad layout. It's alright. I'll keep it more realistic. I was afraid I saw the little edge of the water up here and I saw the gap between these towers and I was like, man, I really think we're gonna have a river running through here. This is gonna be kind of a crap layout, but I think in the end that'll be good. I want to just pick the best layout ever and get lucky because of it.
Not yet.
This cast speed feels insane. I was really messing up by not having this on my wand. We looking like breach, breach, breach. Pretty much everything has breach on it. Let's do a low one here. I don't think I'm gonna go up this 58%. Maybe I will go up this way. Yeah, I probably should, huh? It's pretty huge. Decay. Step is a really good map that I don't want to roll yet. Oh yeah, these are getting really big. I was planning on going down this way, which I probably will do. I got enough tablets to do it and probably enough maps. But this is kind of too good to pass up. These will be huge. Blooming field there. Crypt we can kill. Let's go this way.
Death is my power to wield.
I'm still running dangerous mods. We'll see if I regret that or not. The big problem with running dangerous mods is like on your best maps where your quantity gets doubled, then so do your dangerous prefixes or suffixes. So your maps become giga valuable and giga deadly if you don't filter it out, but just don't get a ton of maps, so I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it or not.
A gift from fate.
Best farms to work towards Temporalis. I really like the rare monster modifier one that I did. I've been a huge fan of Expedition the whole time through. I haven't looked at the tablet prices for a while. Me as well as some other people probably messed the prices up a little bit. Tablets are kind of spendy now. But on good hours you can get like a logbook per map. I think I was making 10 divine in an hour. That wasn't including the setup though, so maybe more like 13 or 14 because you'll get a couple of divines setting up, but yeah, maybe like 13 to 14 every 2 hours. And I was doing that without a Temporalis build, just a standard ranger build, so. But just throwing quantity on and rare monster modifier tablets, I don't know if those are expensive. Whenever I talk about them, they go up in price a little bit, and then after a couple of days, they go back down. But every time I've done that farm, I've done it with a Temporalis build, so I don't know how it would feel doing it with like a build that I was running on. It might not be enough currency. But I feel like I could pull probably 8 divine an hour doing it if I was putting the tablets in as I go. If you want to make huge money, I mean, crafting is your best, but that requires quite a bit of understanding of the game and what's valuable, what's not.
A gift from fate.
Yeah, depending on if you go fast, yeah. Like, I need to stop putting like this much divine an hour in my videos and stuff because reality is most people don't have a Temporalis. Like lots of people do, but a lot of people don't as well. But I don't know. Whenever I see a video like that, I just know like, if my build's, 70% as fast, then I'll make 70% as much. You can still go pretty quick without a Temporalis build, that's for sure. Sanctums? I've heard Sanctums insane. Yeah, a lot of people are making a ton of money. I need to start dating these before I dump them. It's a huge waste of time to have to pull them back out to ID them later, but it's just not been a habit I've formed, unfortunately. 93% with a 27. I think we run a good one for this. Creek isn't that insane, though. We'll do that one, sure. See what the tier 13s are looking like. %, up to 158. That is not doubled, I don't believe.
All part of my plan. I need more time.
That guy just gets deleted. This new wand is crazy. I was avoiding making upgrades on this guy for a long time. For one, because I wasn't running Breach that much, so I didn't really need the gear. But also because I really thought they were going to nerf this. But they still haven't. And the rids look okay on that for a non-doubled. Not the best, but can't really tell yet if tier 13 is good or not, or if I'm just burning my money. Only problem is I don't think I can sustain the strategy if I don't run tier 13s and above. Why is this on the filter? Is this like, can you val this or something? Somebody using that? Now I saw gamer report had it as this weapon when he did that, whatever his recent video was. Yeah, well, the way they started the league out with the resets, or I mean with the nerfs, wasn't really sure how they were planning on handling it. If they were going to continue to kill stuff. I mean, it is insanely broken. It needs to be nerfed, but more minions kill? Okay. I assume the only one that would be valuable then is a +3, and then you just gotta hope you val higher there. Mine went from 3 to 1, so I guess I lost a 50-50 there. Oh! Sorry, fuck this map. hope this goes well, but if it doesn't, I'm kind of okay with it because now that I have so many maps built up, I really want to try like double and triple prefix pack size for ritual. I'm saving all the maps that didn't roll well for this.
Not yet.
I want to see if I can get like a tablet or two to drop every map with ritual. That could be kind of insane.
Death is my power to
Yeah, I can't
heal.
stand Sanctum. It's just so boring to me, but people make a ton of money doing it. I've always just been a mapper. Hey, 79 eye level, nice. Did a couple leagues back in PoE1 where I like ran a bunch of heists and stuff, and it's cool. It's fun to do like for a little bit. I could do Sanctum for like a day or two, but I couldn't do it any more than that. I would lose my mind. Same with Simulacrum. Simulacrum's always a really weird one
It's
because
about time.
you you never like get the like build up process to it. I guess Sanctum is the same, but with mapping, like if your character sucks, then sometimes you have to struggle through and you notice your improvements as you go, which makes the mapping experience feel better, and you start failing less maps. But with Simulacrum and stuff like Sanctum, then it's kind of a pass or fail thing. Your build's either good enough to do it, and you can do it without really any thought or struggle, or it's not good enough to do it, and you don't make any money. It's sort of how it feels, especially with so much of the loot coming from the end waves. So I tried a lot. I remember doing a lot of Simulacrum, making Simulacrum builds in PoE1, and it always ends just being so boring because you have to make the build strong and have to basically do it with your eyes closed. Didn't find it really profitable, really. I haven't tried it myself, but I've just seen videos of people saying they're making insane amounts of money off the Megalomaniacs and various other stuff. Another annulment. 0 for 2 on the T1 currency roll. Unlucky. Annulments are T1, right? Like it is Divine or Annulment. So it wasn't Path of Exile 1. I just been assuming it's the same. They're about as rare. Usually I end up having half and half. Half Divine, half Annulment at the end of any sort of run, generally. Without a single mate. Oh, wow. Damn. Yeah, I wouldn't even look at a simulacrum ever again. That's brutal. So what does that take? Like was it like 15, 20 minutes per simulacrum? So 40, that's gotta be like 2 days, 3 days, 4 days worth, depending on how much you play. Dude, I'm juicing up everything, and then we run a random tier 13 blue map with nothing on it and find our first divine. That's crazy. Man, this tablet sucks so bad. Oh, excuse me. 2%. It's like I don't even know if it's worth it, but we'll throw it in. Can't really divine it. It's got 9 range and 19 quantity. I'll just end up having to spend 5 divines to fix it. Oh, I can't skip it. Dude, this if I have to any complaint about the system, I mean other than the entire system as it is, but specifically the not being able to go like right next door to something and having to path all the way around. So bad. Crypt, augury, step. Step is really good. Run a tier 15 map for this. I want to run like a crazy one. We're still only at 78% quantity. Do you want tier 15 for this expedition?
Another corpse to serve.
Forgot to go back and filter out some dangerous mods. There's like a couple like less cooldown recovery I just can't run.
Too soon.
Some of them might have snuck on when I valved the maps.
It's about time.
Another annulment. Super unlucky.
I need more time.
At least we're seeing the tier 1 currency though. I mean, it's like every 2 or 3 maps we're getting one through the setup process, so that's good.
Not yet. I need more time. I need more time. Death takes you.
Right, check for some other breaches first. Sometimes expedition can just slap you in the face.
I need more time.
Failed 4 citadels in a row. That's rough. Yeah, they pay pretty well when you can run them, that's for sure. As I'm sure you know. You just a little bit of boost to your currency in a certain area. Happy they finally fixed the iron one. You used to not be able to path through it. Now when you fail it, it lets you go by. Which you always fail it, even if you complete it, because for whatever reason it's coded that you still need to talk to the NPC at the end of Act 1.
Too soon.
Alright, let's see what we got. I haven't even looked at this yet. Runic monsters are duplicated. No increased chance. No good chest. This is gonna be far out. I'm not gonna be able to reach it. Sucks, man. I hate going that far on the first one. Just like burn one to get over here. I don't know if it's worth it. I think the blue chest is gonna be better.
Detonation time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're all bugged out, man. I
Death
forgot
is
about
my
that.
power to wield.
Oh, there I got a single runic monster there.
How useful.
Where's it going? Up here, that's right.
Yes.
What was this? Oh, it's for my next tower. Don't even tell me it's a 10 breach, dude. Nothing more disappointing than getting it on Mire or Crypt. Doesn't look like it. Also pop this one too. I mean, these are almost worthless. There's just nothing coming out of them.
None can oppose.
I heard they close faster if you don't keep up with killing the monsters in them. Oh, yep, they sure do. There you go.
A gift from fate. Actually, not hating augury as much the more I play it. I really dislike putting the levers down, but I don't dislike it as much as I did when I initially played it. It feels okay on breach too, just because a lot of them end up landing in the center or close to the center, so Another
you can
cause
get a
to serve.
value out of the center breach. Another annulment. What is this? I mean, the plus side though, the plus side is for a setup process, this is quite a bit of tier 1 currency. Yeah, dude. It's yeah, that's a rough one too. I mean they both kind of feel the same, but I will say Veil Factory feels a lot better when you can use Temporalis and jump over the walls, or if you're running Blink at all. Because there's all these little ledges that are super annoying, but if you have Blink, it's a little less annoying to deal with. And in general, it does feel like there's a lot of space in there for stuff to spawn. So like your breach doesn't feel dead. I didn't mean to pop this yet. This actually kind of sucks. That one's gonna go in the center. See if we can open this before the breach gets here. Not sure if it'll land in the center or not, but you can get a lot of value out of your breach if it does. Might be a little too far. I mean, I say I don't mind this map using Temporalis, but if I didn't have Temporalis, this map would be horrible. Anything with close corridors feels terrible. But layouts are a lot less annoying with this, that's for sure.
A gift from fate.
Yeah, man, it's expensive. It is expensive. It's always harder to get stuff like this, like later in the league. It's way easier to get the expensive stuff early on and just let it grow in value. It's also just a lot easier to make money early on with how sporadic stuff is. Yeah, man, it's all relative, you know. 10x is huge. If you don't have, if you had 0x the minute before, you know, getting 10x is pretty nice.
Is my power to wield.
Give me 2 seconds. I gotta pee super bad, then I'll tell you, James. Alright, I'm back. General General league start strategy. I didn't go that crazy for PoE2 league start, so I'll give you what I would do on a PoE1 league start because they should be pretty close to the same. But in general, look at this real quick. Don't need too many more breaches, so we'll do a low breach one here, I think. In general, I don't even know if I can say in general. There's just years of experience that go into it, I guess. But last league, like on the Necropolis League, they did a soft reset before this, and I think I made 1,000 divines within the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, maybe 7 days. And the way I did it was, for one, you need to get really fast at the campaign. Um, so I think I was through the campaign in about 4 hours, which the campaign is a little shorter on PoE 1. Um, but you really want to be like one of the first guys into the campaign, starting to get all that like early game loot, because like really simple rares like movement speed boots and basic resists and life, all that stuff can sell really really well. And the faster you can get into the end game content, like doing bosses and stuff like that, the more inaccessible it is to other players. Um, and to go through the campaign quick is honestly just like a lot of practice. The way I got really bored one league in PoE, and I was kind of done with the league, and I wanted to see if I could improve my campaign speed. I don't, I don't know yet. I'm kind of trying to figure that out right now as far as the tier waystones. It doesn't seem like it makes too big of a difference to me, but I can't be for certain yet. But yeah, I got bored one league and I wanted to go through, and so there's a couple of people that are like PoE racers. Who's the guy I'm thinking of? I can't think of his Tyler. I think Tyler something. I could be wrong. Kind of going brain dead on the streamer's name, but basically he goes through the campaign really quick. And so I'm sure there's people like that on PoE2 right now. And if you get bored, what you do is just pull up their stream and try to play along next to them as they go through the campaign, and it will like they will blow you out of the water. Like I thought I was quick or whatever. Hell no, not compared to these guys. Like I remember I was like getting through the second or third area in the first act, and like I thought I was keeping up, and I looked over at the stream and the guy had already finished act one, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like how did he do that? And so I restarted and went back and watched him do it again, and this time watched him a little more closely and try to follow along. And eventually I ended up getting to a place where I could do the campaign in like 4 hours or whatever. Some people it takes, 20 or 30 hours the first time through, and then more experienced people to be like 10. But if you can get it down to like 3, that's like step one. And then learning how to burn through the maps to get up to the highest tier, that's the next step. And then after that, you start, once you have all that down, you learn what builds are valuable, and then you set up, search parameters using, like, say you want mana and let's just say resists or whatever. You set up all your resists, and then you can do a count. And I would have like 20 tabs open with active searches on right here, and then that you get to see stuff as it comes up immediately. And usually I just do it for the build that I'm playing. But what I find is I'll get really good deals on the build that I'm playing, and then I'll also get really good deals um, for items that I don't want to use, but I know that are a good deal, and then I'll start to flip those. So slowly I'm like flipping stuff while at the same time trying to get to the end game as quick as possible. And then in Path of Exile 1, I know a lot about crafting, so I'll craft all the items for my build, and then whatever like misses, whatever's not the ideal item for me, I'll sell off to recoup all the cost or maybe make a bunch of profit for that item that I don't use. And then whatever rolls well, I keep for myself. So I essentially get all my items for free, if not make money off of them. Um, yeah, can't really do that kind of crafting on this game, but the other stuff should still apply. Get through the campaign super quick. Um, just basically try to be ahead of everyone. And then prices are so sporadic that if you know something's value, like through the early league, when there's so many new people and a lot of them aren't that experienced with PoE, they will put stuff up for the cheapest prices ever, and you can turn around and flip it. Want a really good one. This one should be good. Blooming Field. Put this in, right? Other than this tower, I don't have any other ones. So yeah, this is like my maxed out area here. I can start going back in and running some higher tier ones. Yeah, it's a big long answer, James. Man, it's like, how do you make a bunch of money at league start? It's like pay a bunch of leagues and then like slowly learn throughout each of the leagues like little things, and then you just it all kind of starts to compound on each other until eventually you just, if you really want to go into it, you can make tons and tons of money. The build I played to get up to the Temporalis, which I got mine for cheap, so I got it early on for like 120 divine or something, because they were really cheap early on. So that was definitely helpful. But if I hadn't got it for that, then I would have just kept playing um, my Ranger build. Spark's really good too. The thing I like about the Ranger is it has a naturally fast movement speed, so um, it just makes farming around when you don't have Blink a lot easier. Anything that moves fast is always good. Moves fast, kills fast, clear screens, decent single target damage. It's always what I'm looking for. Early league start, I'll play a build that doesn't have like insane bossing potential. Like, let me pause real quick. If you go to TFT, there is boss carry want to sell, and these guys will clear your bosses for like next to nothing. 20 exalts, 40 exalts. And for me personally, I've killed a million bosses in PoE. I don't have some pride thing with killing bosses. I don't care. I'll take a build that I know like clears maps super quick, but can't boss that well, and then I'll just use them to kill my bosses early on when I don't have that great of gear to get Atlas points going. And whenever they kill your bosses, you still get the loot. So if anything good drops, you still get to keep it. All they take is the payment.
Another corpse served me.
I didn't look to see if this map was dangerous or not. I don't think it's like the craziest map yet. Some of the stuff is dropping really well though, so I don't want to brick it. Seen a lot of chaos orbs coming off these guys. Yeah, the shatter from freezing everything feels so good on that build, that's for sure. I was surprised Herald of Ice survived when they came back in and nerfed a couple of builds. I really thought that they didn't want that to be the way it was. It's kind of crazy that you can just literally clear entire breaches with a single volley of arrows. Or on the monk if you're running that ring that I'm not gonna even try to pronounce. Like a couple of attacks and you can just chain the entire breach. There's lots of good builds that'll farm really quick. Monk, Herald of Ice, strength stacking kind of, or not strength, but dex and int stacking stuff. I've even seen a couple of warrior builds that are like screen clearing.
Death is my power to wield.
just get hung up on all this stupid stuff in this map. Yeah,
How useful.
I can see that. I made a really insane Spectre minion build that just like covered the screen in projectiles, and it was so insanely good in the last PoE1 league. But I was like making me sick looking at all the projectiles on the screen. Like that one was getting me, and so I had to like put it down and then come back to it later, and then my eyes were kind of adjusted to it. So you guys ever play that Guitar Hero game as a kid? I don't know what the general age is in here, but when I was a teenager, it came out, and I remember playing that for a little bit, and then you like look at the wall, and the whole wall's moving like you're on mushrooms or something.
Yes.
I had to play it a few times before my brain and eyes adjusted to it. Same with like the VR goggles. Dude, I've tried to play VR so many times. It's like brutal. Get motion sick. I think all our towers are pretty much set up here. I could go into this one real quick just to juice these up a little bit more. Looks like I don't need any breaches, so maybe I'll just throw like a quantity and rare monster modifier on this one. Yeah, dude, the Guitar Heroes were sick. I played real guitar for since I was like 14 or something, and I used to be pretty decent at it. I don't play it as much anymore, but I was when I was a kid, and I would like forgo playing the real guitar just so I could play Guitar Hero. That game was so much fun.
Another corpse to serve me. I need more time. It's about time. Too soon.
This build is obnoxious, though. I mean, yeah, I don't think I'll be sad if they get rid of it. To be honest, game. I hope they. I hope they buff the game in other ways if they're gonna get rid of it. Because I do still want to like. I don't want to make 5 divine an hour or something like that. It just makes.
I need more time.
If you're a mapper, it makes getting big amounts of currency, dude. Another annulment. I want to see how many annulments I have versus divine orbs after this. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't like to like do a crafting league only. I've done it before when the league is just really bad and you can't make that much money mapping, but I definitely don't enjoy it that much.
Too soon.
It's been an hour since launch. Yeah, man, I don't know. It's just like mapping efficiently and setting all your stuff up. Also, you need to run rarity. Like, you have to run rarity. But even on a non-temporalis build, you can make really good currency per hour if you're setting your stuff up right. But again, I don't like to use the currency per hour necessarily because it just varies so much hour to hour. But yeah, I think my PC is about to explode doing this. Where's the loot though? There's like 1,000. It might all be beyond demons and not really any rares in here. Not beyond, bro. This stuff lags you out.
It's about time.
Really? I keep hearing that from people, and I don't know, man. Like I've been finding good currency the whole league. Sometimes you get unlucky some hours, and you only find like three divine or something. But in general, I've been setting up my tablets throughout the league with two beneficial modifiers. So I'll do like quantity and something else, and I think it's been paying off for me. I've only had like a couple of bad hours for the most part. Uh, they've all paid pretty well. All right, I gotta see how many annulments I have here. 5 annulments, 2 divine. It's not that far off, but not that crazy. It's all right. We'll throw this in, and then we'll start running the 3 prefix maps and see how it looks. I still feel like I'm just gonna need to see it like raining divines at this point for the strategy to feel good. I think there's just better strategies out there. But everyone's been swearing by breach, so I don't know. Everyone says it's good. With omens, no, I'm just being stupid and running dangerous suffixes, which I occasionally pay for. Alright, so we'll do like a... I guess we'll do that. Do I have any better ones? All my loot is so scattered. That's fine, we're just gonna use that. It's not the highest quantity, but it's whatever. Push all this stuff up to 80 to 100. Looks a lot better. 127, 113. Yeah, these are pretty big. Alright, I think I'm gonna put away these setup maps and just start pulling out. I want to find one really good one. I hope that's good. Need to look for less cooldown now. Cool. Alright, just whatever. Grab some. This blooming field has the potential to be pretty good. Tier 14. Yeah, I've heard rituals are insane. I could see it. I think the next strategy I'm going to try, even if this one goes well, if this one goes well, I'll make a video. If it doesn't go well, then I'm just going to forget about it. Um, but regardless, the next thing I'm going to work on is running rituals with pack size and seeing if I can get a shit ton of tablets to supply to the guys that are running ritual. In general, it's usually pretty good to counter like whatever the community's doing. Like if everyone's running ritual, then you want to be the guy supplying the tablets for ritual.
How useful.
Rare, gold, and no rarity. Oh, but I got the modifier. Rare monsters have 3 additional modifiers? That's insane. Why? How did that happen? 52%. I must have rolled a 25% on suffix, I guess. That's crazy. 3 additional modifiers is nuts.
Unfortunately, my breach is tucked into a corner, so I'm only going to get half of it, but it's alright. Keep getting caught in every little thing, dude. It's going to get me killed. I have no idea how long the league is running for. Probably a while, I would imagine. I know they want to bring out some new characters and classes and stuff. I don't know if they're going to do that in a new league. They could. I know they made the announcement that they're going to stop working on PoE 1, and a lot of the PoE 1 guys lost their minds, so they had to transition to putting out a league for them, which, you know, I'm happy with. But I also briefly looked at the league last night, and it looks a little on the nose for PoE 2, where like the way PoE 2 runs, you got to pick up tablets and then build your mapping based off the tablets. It's like, oh, this is a questionable strategy, man. I think a lot of people just want to go back to throwing in scarabs and running the content they want to run. The real bog. We're gonna start needing to see like a divine map here, or else I think after I finish this little cove of maps here, I'll kind of know the story on whether this is worth the time or not. Setup wasn't the worst. I got pretty unlucky with the annul rolls, but maybe make like 5 divine or something, setting up on average. I imagine a lot of the value is going to come from when it the 20% chance to hit double though. Also, I messed up. I thought Bog was a better map layout. This isn't going to be that great. As far as just getting in the number of monsters in the map, you know, it can still roll well. It's a lot of quantity. I need the outer limits to go outside over there. Hopefully it does. Oh no, it's just all swamp over there. That sucks. How long is the stream been going for? Alright, so it's like what, an hour and a little over an hour to set up. Mm. Yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of money, a lot of currency from these juiced up maps.
Another corpse disturbed.
What are you farming right now? Oh, it's gonna be a lot better breach layout, it looks like. I love when people message me like this. It lets me know what I have that's valuable. If he offers me 2 divine, I can probably sell it for 3.
I need more time. It's about time.
Take this off public. Sorry, those are my trades coming in, not yours. Take that tab off public. Yeah, what he's talking about, the quantity tablets, that's I did that for a long time, man, and
Yes.
I was making plenty of money just blasting through. Make money from a lot of random stuff. Like if you're not targeting breach, then you can sell your breach tablets. Sell your ritual tablets, sell uh, everything. You still want to run the natural league mechanics, but yeah, you'll make it killing just running quantity tablets. You just run around grabbing all the league mechanics around and keeping up a good speed. Curious how many people PoE2 has converted. Like if you came in from not playing PoE1, do you plan on playing the next PoE1 league, or are you just like, nah, PoE2 is my only thing?
I need more time. I need more time.
Two divines. Or was it just one? Oh, perfect jewelers.
How useful. Death, take you.
Yeah, I'm getting crazy unlucky on these annulments. I've seen it happen the other way too, where you get like 10 divines and one annulment for, a couple hours of farming, but definitely sucks when it goes the other way.
I need more time. Too soon. I need more time.
Another annulment, bro. That's crazy.
I need more time. Death is my power to wield. It's about time.
Uh, I don't want to sound stupid because I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure annulment and divine are on the same tier of currency. So basically, when an annulment or divine drops, you have a 50% chance to get one or the other. So sometimes you'll have long streaks of getting a bunch of divines, and other times you'll have long streaks of getting a bunch of annulments instead of divines. Basically, like each currency is a tier. So like battle orbs are like tier 4. Take for instance, that's not what they actually are probably, but just using an example. Divine and Annul are tier 1. So, bro, what was I telling you about the rare chests, dude? That's 6 divine orbs from them rare chests. Not today, but just overall.
Speak.
So yeah, in this particular case, I have found 7 Annuls and 3 divine. So very unlucky on my 50-50 roll. Not very unlucky. I guess it's not that insane. Like just off by 2, but this would be looking a lot better if I didn't hit so many Annuls, that's for sure. But so far, going through this little cove of maps here, so we went through and we used the towers that we did yesterday, and then kind of piggybacked off them. I didn't run any of this section of maps yesterday because that was the way I would do this if I was doing a strategy. Is I would I would leave the set open, and then I would go in, path through to these towers, and then I would do the inner maps here. And then once I finish these, I'll leave these ones outside of the towers that I have set up, and then I'll go through and I'll path into these, and then I'll go back and do the center, and just continually leapfrog it. I think that'll be the best way to do it. So now I have this little cove set up, and so far all these maps have dropped a tier 1 currency, at least one, if not two. So that is promising. I needed to start rolling in divines for me, but has the potential to be a good strategy. So long as I can sustain the tablets. The tablets are the big killer because I'm running quantity and percent breach tablets, which if you were to outright buy would be very expensive, but if you can sustain them, then the cost to run becomes free,
It's about time.
and so everything you get is profit aside from exalting the maps, which is expensive. Sort of a hard strategy to calculate like what you're actually making. The guy did say, the guy that I pulled off the comment did mention that he was selling his maps that he didn't use though, which would help make up for the cost of a lot of this as far as the amount of maps that I don't use. I'll show you what I mean after this map here.
I need more time.
It just gets so laggy when trying to stream. Insane.
Not yet. It's about time. None can oppose me.
Oh, I don't think I completed that. Oh, yeah, I did. Alright, let's pull up the video quick. Sorry about your ears, this might be loud for a second, but I'll pause it as quick as I can. So if we look at his comment real quick, what he's saying he's doing, I'm not going to do this. I probably should because that's how you get the real value for what he's doing. But yeah, you roll your maps. It's way cheaper than buying. Maybe take 20 minutes to roll full quad tab into 30 to 40 usable maps, and then so he not talk about it here. He talks about it somewhere. Maybe he talks about it up here. Basically, he's selling off his maps that he doesn't use. So he'll sell off the experience ones, the pack size ones, and the rarity ones that he doesn't end up using. Oh, right here. Some maps in bulk on TFT usually they sell pretty fast, 35x per T15 example or experience for example. Sell the Ras quad tab. So yeah, if you go to TFT, you can go to bulk maps, want to sell, and you can see these guys are selling tons of corrupted 500% waystone drop or 90 to 100% rarity. Some people are selling some experienced ones. You don't have to corrupt them. Some people are selling some non-corrupt ones. But yeah, you could probably make a ton of money off of going through your quad tab after you're finished rolling your maps and pick out all the single modifier ones that you don't want to use and then sell them on TFT. It's a little bit too much of a headache for me. I may end up doing it just this one time to see like um, what it looks like because it would be a pretty big factor in your currency. But at this stage of the league, I don't really care about currency too much anymore. So bit too much of a headache for me to do back to back. Doing the strategy back to back. Maybe once I did it a couple of times, I'd be able to figure out how to do it in like 10 minutes and it wouldn't be that bad. But just set up a regex for it. I'm sure it's probably not as bad as I'm thinking it would be.
It's my power to wield.
Yeah, I don't know what people are using them for. I mean, I can guess what the experienced ones are using them for. Like, if we look at uh, just guessing here, if I go to leveling, I bet these guys are probably using them. Act 1 through 6. That guy's just running into the campaign. This guy's running through Simulacrum. That seems. How do you carry somebody through Simulacrum? That sounds so dangerous. Maybe I'm in the wrong thing here. Fast clear with Spark. Oh yeah, here you go. He runs the map. He runs big experience map. Takes a full group, probably 5 guys through, and they all pay him X amount per map and get yourself speed leveled. So this guy's probably who's buying those uh, experience maps. And then I don't know who's buying the Waystone maps. I saw that you can. Uh, there's a tablet modifier that um, the boss will drop the same tier of Waystones that you're running. So maybe if you just like load up your atlas with bosses and then run T16s every time the boss drops maps, it'll be a full set of tier 16s, and so maybe you could double your money through that. It was a strategy I was looking at earlier, but I couldn't really make it work out in my head to be that profitable. But yeah, I don't know what everyone's doing with all those maps. I'm sure they got some funny strategies that they're doing with them. I don't really look that deep into it. Just kind of doing my own thing. There's still that 1T1 currency per map so far. I mean, it's not looking too bad. Oh, did it hit that? Oh, good. Yeah, you'll get there one day. Watch, next league you're gonna have like 200 divine. You're gonna be done with the league, and you're gonna gamble all of it away. Breach is feeling a little empty. I want to run the 15% monster density open 30% faster, but I don't think I actually gain off of it doing the maps with a bunch of corridors and stuff. I feel like it just closes too fast to be able to get around the breach in time.
A gift from fate.
I also don't know if turning off simulacrum splinters is the move or not. I'm filtering out like an insane amount of stuff. I just don't know if it's worth the time to go loot all the splinters or not. Feel like probably not, but it's hard to say. More div each map than you. I mentioned I was out of touch, man. I know, yeah, for some people this probably looks really good. To me, it's not bad. It's okay, but I'm also thinking about just like the cost of everything and the time and stuff. I think there's just some other strategies that are a little bit better. But I'm just now getting into the tower setup stuff, so maybe some of these will start being really good. Still got a lot of maps to run here that could go really well. Oh, more X, yeah. Yeah, I haven't even looked at how much of that I picked up. I considered taking it off my filter, to be honest. Just feels wrong, though. But having to pick up something 300 times for a divine is like, meh. I wouldn't cry if I took it off, to be honest. I div an X every 5 to 10 maps. Yeah, we'll see. Ooh, a ritual precursor tablet. Um, yeah, we'll see at the end. It'll be kind of hard to average out between the maps that I ran that were juice versus like the setup maps and stuff, but I gotta imagine the triple prefix ones are gonna drop quite a bit more exalted.
I need more time.
The guy claimed to div a map, one divine a map, and again, I don't know if he's averaging it out or not, but I don't think I see that yet. I think I can see 1T1 currency per map if you roll these right. I don't know about a divine a map. I want to look at my chaos orbs and see how many chaos orbs I have and how they measure up to the divines.
It's about time.
Just an ingenuity belt? How would I mean, did you watch that Blasting Rares video? that I put out, the Alva section.
Take you.
I mean, you could get close to 18, 20 divine in a night without even mapping and just doing Alva. Maybe not that much in a night. Maybe like 10, and then 10 the next night.
I need more
But if you
time.
find the right thing. Oh, okay, check out the blasting rares video. That's like that was that was as close as I could get to like a beginner's like crash course guide on how to start mapping efficiently, and then as well as how to use Alva to your benefit. And I think I made 5 divine just flipping stuff through Alva in like a few hours. So do that for a few nights, and you'll get yourself a temp or ingenuity. Alva, the currency exchange. The scroll here,
Order.
currency exchange, and then everything. Well, not usually exalted orbs. I think there's a lot of bots doing this. Like, let's take a look. 223,000. Pretty sure that's what, like 2 mirrors worth of gem cutters prisms. I don't think that's a human. Pretty sure that's a bot. But as you can see, you can get them for 1.5 and sell them for 3. It's doubling your money every time you flip them around. I'm not saying to use gem cutter prisms, but there's like 100 different things in here if you go to all and just look through. I don't want to show anything because a bunch of people will do it and then it just isn't valuable anymore. But um, yeah, go check out the blasting rares video and skip to the Alva section. Or if you don't know how to map, watch the whole thing. I talk pretty quick. I cover a lot, but some pretty good information in there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure within a night or two I could make enough money for an ingenuity belt just flipping stuff around.
Adieu from fate.
Early league, I'm doing it all the time. This stage of the league, like I said, I don't really care too much about currency, so I'm not really trying as hard. But if this was early league and I was trying to build up my character, I would have all 10 slots of Alpha full, constantly flipping stuff, putting my gold and money to use. I gotta pick that up so my filter stops pinging me. It's annoying. Or wait, no, it's not called Blasting Rares. What is it called? Sorry, I think I sent you the wrong video. It's called
I need
Blasting
more.
Guide, I think. It's like the last one I put out, I'm pretty sure. I got so lucky with the Ingenuity. When I did my Ritual Atlas points, I got 3 Ingenuity belts. Doing the boss 4 times. And then I bricked one of them, corrupting it. It was a perfect 80%, and I bricked it down to like 67% or something.
You there. Waiting. Hungry.
Yeah, you can buy them corrupted for really cheap, right?
Another
It's just the
cause to
non-corrupted ones that are
celebrate.
expensive because people are divining them and then corrupting them. Probably a good gamble. Some guy bought 3 of them off me,
Too soon.
so I assume he's gambling it and probably making pretty good money corrupting it.
Gambling with our lives.
This has the potential to be a pretty fat expedition. And that's going to be a really bad breach. Damn, I had so many monster markers with increased rare monsters. It's crazy.
All part of my plan.
Expedition is so sporadic, man. You'll get like the best expedition ever. It doesn't drop you anything. And then you get the worst one ever and it drops you 4 logbooks. Insane. I think the benefit to doing ritual or expedition over this is like the layouts are just so much more favorable. The layouts are such a big deal on this. You get a third as much out of your breach on narrow layouts.
All part of my plan.
Go on.
I think when the league first came out, one div was like 7x or something. Some people made a bunch of money by holding on to their, or by rolling exalts up into divine, but nobody's using divine, so a lot of people just left it as exalts, and then their exalts became worthless. What are people doing with these? There's stuff. I mean, I assume anything that's on my filter on the uber strict version is being are uniques that can get corrupted or multi-base uniques, but I'm kind of lazy about looking at what's valuable as far as uniques go. This map only feels good on breach if the breach rolls into the other side, which it might kind of. We're still at 1T1 per map. I didn't get one last map, but
It's about time.
it's pretty decent.
Is my power to wield.
Everything resets at the end of the league. Your character will be saved, but it'll go to standard league, and every time a league resets, I mean, I think we're technically in standard league right now, but yeah, every time a league ends, all your characters, all your items, everything goes into the standard league, and it just piles up there. Then they bring out a new league with a new league mechanic, and they do a fresh reset, so everyone starts at the beach again.
It's about time. I need more time.
Not really separate server, more like a separate league, I guess. Like you can always go back to standard and test things, but standard will never have the new league on it. So let's say we're like 10 leagues in, a bunch of new mechanics have been added. Standard will have all of the old mechanics on it, but it won't have the newest. Say we go into League 11, it won't have the 11th league on it. It'll be all the older stuff. And some people only play that league. Like people that can't play a lot, you know, like say you got a busy life, you can't game a lot, you can only play, you know, a few hours a week or whatever, then I would recommend people playing standard because you just don't have enough time throughout a league to get a lot done. But um, yeah, for the people that do want to play, most people play on the new league. And then if they have like broken stuff, items that they change because they're too strong or whatever, they'll all stay the same on standard. So like in PoE 1, you can get some really broken items from, you know, 10 years of the game being out and then releasing a bunch of broken items. Make some pretty insane characters. Characters that have like 100% quantity and, you know, 600% rarity on them and can one-shot the entire screen, that kind of stuff. Everything's inflated. I think a Miracalandra is like 1800 divines or something like that on standard in PoE 1. And this game will probably be the same eventually. Another annulment. I mean, we're staying pretty consistent with 1T1 a map, so that would put me about a divine every other map, which isn't too bad.
A gift from fate.
It's one league behind, yeah. If I remember right. I almost never log on to standard in PoE 1, but if I remember right, the newest league, once it is over, will then go into the standard league on top of the other leagues and in whatever format they decide to add them. Sometimes they do leagues and no one likes them, so they don't keep them, but whenever they do a league and it's successful, then they find a way to incorporate it, usually at a lesser value, into the main game, and that's why PoE 1 has like such a massive end game, is because they've been doing a new league every 3 months for the last 10 years or whatever. And every time a league goes well, they incorporate it into the main game. So there's just a shit ton of league mechanics and stuff to interact with from previous leagues. And this game will be the same eventually. Somebody said 40 per one divine. Yeah, I think you get a little more than that. I was saying 15 or 20, and somebody said 40. I don't really know the numbers, but I think when you're rolling, when you're multiplying rarity, quantity, gold, monster modifiers, all this stuff off each other, I think you drop rare currency a little more often. Not gonna count the exalts yet, but I'll say I got lucky. Yeah, maybe like 1 per 20, because this shouldn't have rolled this unfavorable for me. On average, you would get somewhere around 6 or 7 divines and 1 or 2 less nulls. Favorite archetype? Yeah, fast. I think I really like minion builds. I'm insane, dude. The fucking annulment drop chance is just killing me.
It's about
The
time.
minions have been one of my favorites. They often go really slow, but last league I was able to make one go like basically as fast as this build is going, and give it 400% rarity. It was really really cool. But generally they go pretty slow, but they're really good league starters usually. Another annulment, bro. But yeah, minions are cool. If I'm trying to blast though, usually you have to get really creative with your build to make them go fast. Other than that, I like spellcasters. I like bow builds. Anything that moves fast and goes fast, kills fast. Really. Nether annulment. Dude, this could not be more unlucky. This map has to be doubled though. There's no way I'm getting that many T1s without it being doubled, I would think. Hopefully we got another breach on here. Try and get a few divines off this. It stops rolling bad. Perfect Jewelers again, we'll take that. I'm starting to see the potential with this. Going through the setup, I was a little worried, but now that we're actually clearing maps, getting 1 T1 a map on average, if not a little more than that. If these stop rolling annulments and actually start rolling divines, I could see this being pretty decent. I want to see what this is. Oh, negative 15 player resistance. Yikes. Quantity, rarity, 40% additional modifier, 100% rare monsters. Wow, I don't think this one doubled. I think that was just a Maybe it did double. I don't know what the base quantity was. Might have been 80% and did double. 3 annulments in one map is kind of crazy though. Oh, don't stand in burning ground when you go to teleport. Yeah, the mini builds are okay. I messed around with them a little bit in this one, in this game. Um, Dude, look at that unbalance. Ugh, it's so ugly. Hive is a really bad map too. It's alright though. Yeah, I played with minions a little bit. Minions are gonna get a lot cooler. Spectres specifically, like Spectres are the coolest shit ever, in my opinion. When you get to pick like any monster in the game and make it your minion, there's so many cool interactions that come out of it. I can almost guarantee you that on the initial release of them, there are going to be some unbelievably broken Spectres until they get around to balancing them all out. I think minions would be pretty cool to play. Now with the quality of life changes that they've made, it should be a little bit better. I couldn't stand the playstyle of them all dying and then having to resurrect. That was so obnoxious. So I didn't really do too much. Another annulment. Dude, this is crazy. I mean, it is just a 50-50, but this is a whole lot of 50-50s to lose back to back. So far, I will say it doesn't seem like the tier 13s are making too big of a difference in the currency. It seems like it is viable to run that low. You would lose a little bit of money from the bases on average, but not too terrible. The minions, yeah. I played. I can't remember. I think that was the first thing I got up. No, I got a monk up first, and then I think I did a minion build after that. And a lot of them felt really cool. They weren't quite blasty enough for me though. I'll need more options to make them go a little quicker. I have to let them get developed a little bit more. Path of Exile 1, you have like shield charge and stuff that you can just spam. Like you have shield charge in this game too, but it's spammable in the other game, and so you can make your character go a lot quicker. And there's just a lot more options, like putting support gems on like Pierce and stuff to have certain specters clear screens.
Yes.
Augury. How long is the stream been going for? It's like an hour setup and an hour running so far to get, what was that, 20 T1s plus a couple of perfect jewelers, bunch of chaos. I actually think the strategy might be okay. I thought I thought it was kind of hopeless yesterday after playing with it, but now that I've got it set up and understand it a little bit better and I can go smoother with it, I could see it being pretty decent. Provided you have a build that can clear breaches, you know? Yeah, it seems like once the towers are set up, it's pretty consistent, at least one T1 a map. I mean, it's pretty good. PoE is all about the odds, you know? This time I'm getting 15 or 16 annulments to my 6 divine, or I guess now 7 divine, whatever it is, but occasionally it'll roll the other way too. Did I pass the breach? Wasn't paying that much attention. Gotta keep note of them.
Can oppose me.
I wanted to try to do all these maps in one night, but I don't think I'm gonna have the time. I have to break this up into a two-part thing.
How useful.
So, how many maps have we done? Started out with I should have to go back in the VOD and look. All I did was calculate the amount that I have paranoid. Say 60 for now, I guess. 12, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 50. Okay, I definitely had more than 60 then. It's probably like 25 maps in. Maybe a little more. There, got any logbooks? Hmm. Looks like it'll be okay.
A gift from fate.
Yeah, this one's doubled. You can always tell, like, rare monsters just start exploding when they get doubled.
I need more time.
Hopefully we get a triple breach on it, although this layout's kind of rough too.
I need more time. I need more time. Well, soon.
Get a stellar amulet, but this is the downside to running the tier 13s and 14s. Not worth anything. I do not believe. I should look that up. I only see people selling 79 plus, but I'll have to see if you can chance orbit into Astromentus at 78 or 79.
It's about
I imagine if they're only selling 78 plus or 79 plus, then you probably can't. But it could just be because everyone's running 79 plus maps too. Maybe it is possible to chance from a lower eye level. Pick it up anyways, I guess.
another corpse to serve me. I need more time. Too soon. I need more time.
You have time to get over here? I did.
All part of my plan.
I'm not sure, to be honest, if anyone can. All I see is people selling 79 plus, and I don't know if that just means because that's what they're running, map wise, or if that's because that's the eye level minimum for it to be a chance into an Astromentus. I haven't really researched it at all. But I know some uniques can only start or can only be chanced into a unique at a certain eye level or can only even drop starting at a certain eye level, but I'm not sure what Astromantis is.
Speak.
I mean, it seems like including tier 13 plus, I think I would make my maps back. How many breach tablets do we get? It's a lot of breach tablets. By the time we get through all these maps, I could probably get pretty close to sustain. I only used 5, I think. Yeah, I mean, you could probably check without having to do any research. Let me make sure I don't show anything funny here. Astra Mantis. Um, item level 78. Looks like it. These are all corrupted though. I think that would matter, but oh yeah, you can go pretty far down. I wonder. Yeah, they must just be saying 79 plus because well, actually, not all of them did say 79 plus. There's only a couple of guys that said that. So man, that thing is up there, huh? Damn. Should we try it? Should we hit the one? Look at that. It's perfect. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Well, that'll fuck up the calculations.
Death is my power to wield.
Yeah, when I don't know why I just assumed that it was 79 plus because I saw that posted a lot on TFT. I should have double checked, but I guess that means that tier 13s really don't matter at all as long as they are dropping the same currency, which to me I don't really seem to see a difference. And as long as your base is the Stellar Amulet can still hold its nearly one divine value, then seems like running tier 13s is completely fine. Holy shit, that was a lot of monsters.
A gift from fate. Death is my power to wield.
Some of these rares are dropping so much, man. This feels like a divine map. Where's it at? Triple breach though.
All part of my plan.
I think it's so crazy that I streamed this for like 3 hours last night or two, whatever it was, and it really wasn't going that hot. I mean, a lot of time was spent in the hideout, kind of figuring the strategy out, but I think it's funny that it went kind of like whatever, and then as soon as I got off, every map was just spitting out divines. I think I have the opposite of streamer RNG. Then I kick on the stream and I get nothing but annulments. Pretty epic.
None can oppose me.
Ooh, 4 breaches. Dude, some of these guys are just exploding with currency. Where's
More time.
the good stuff? I don't want to go pick all that up. I'll just do this breach first. See if I can't get myself killed with a bunch of loot on the ground again. Early access streamer client? Yeah, probably.
How useful.
Maybe you gotta do 10 streams first before your streamer privileges kick in. Privileges. Need GGG to see me first so they can send me the software that gives me better loot.
Yet.
Is that FLW or FIW, man? I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, that's the goal, man. Try to help as many players as possible, and also getting ready to put the girlfriend through school sometime early summer, so if I can make a couple $100 extra on the side, that'd be nice too.
None
No, the stats on the map were definitely noticeable. Just based off this little test I'm doing here. Like, when I was running earlier, I was just using single prefix maps, so like just a bunch of rares or just a bunch of rarity. But now that I'm running 3 prefix, the loot is definitely noticeable. Getting a 1T1 currency every map is insane. I haven't had this since I've been playing. The stats in the map are definitely big. This map sucked though. This is so many breaches to not. I didn't get one, did I? Yeah, rough. What was this one? Just rarity and rares.
how useful.
Hmm. Yeah, that one kind of sucked. It should have been really good, but it's kind of been the story of the night, I guess. Should have been good. I'm trying to look at it more than just like what I'm actually getting though, and see like the potential of what it is. You know, what it could be. How much rarity am I running? I am running 199. That's all the breaches. But the reason I'm getting this much loot is because of the map, not so much because of the rarity. Like you do need some rarity. Um, but this is mostly coming from the way I've set these maps up. Uh, I try to give a brief explanation of it when at the start of the VOD or the start of the stream, and I put the regex that I'm using in the comments, and I explain how to use it a little bit at the beginning. But this is starting to look like it's going to be worth me making a video for, I think. So it's kind of hard to say until the end, but I think it has potential. It's definitely feeling a lot better than it did yesterday. Still not sure it's enough to convince me to run Breach back to back over some other stuff out there, but if I were to run Breach, I think this would probably be how I did it. Yeah, the quantity is huge, but I'm definitely noticing from stacking multiple things, so like rare monsters with rarity and quantity, or sometimes rare modifier, or sometimes even gold. Uh, it's just in general, I'm just getting a lot of T1 currency drops. It seems like they're all multiplying off each other pretty well. But I'm definitely not going to be able to get through this whole thing in one night. I rolled a few more maps than I thought I was going to be able to. And I want to give this thing as accurate of a test as I can, so I'll probably have to stream tomorrow as well and then compile it all together to see what the numbers look like. Actually, I won't stream tomorrow. I gotta go cosmic tubing with the family. Maybe the day after that. Yeah, dude, I think I'm gonna end up burning through a bunch of the maps trying the next ritual thing I do, so that'll help, but yeah, it is a lot of maps. I think I might end up just like vendoring a bunch, honestly. We'll see. He said he makes quite a bit from selling them on TFT. I don't really want to do that just for the headache of it, but I wouldn't be surprised if you could make like another 5 or 10 divine from doing it. Sorting the maps, yeah, the whole, if you're like efficient with it, the whole thing can be like, what is that? Oh, feather tiara. The whole thing can be done in 20 minutes, but it's tedious. The worst part of it is the limit rate on is this worth anything if you
Ancient power.
I don't know anything about the uniques in this game, dude. You know the big ones obviously, but I haven't been following trade items that closely for a couple of weeks. I've mostly just been killing monsters. Gotta put my hand back on the keyboard here, man. Going through all these tight corridors. I have to bail out of the map at any moment. I will say adding like 1,000 energy shield or whatever I did, 1,500 energy shield made such a big difference. Just because it gets doubled. Yesterday, if I got even stunned, I don't even think I was getting stunned because I'm an idiot, dude. I have a stun charm on. I think I was just getting, I don't know, staggered or something. Like it seemed like I was just getting paused for a second and uh, nearly dying if I had minus res or something like that on the map.
A gift from fate.
Yeah, literally, dude. When I was getting staggered yesterday at, I think I was, my base was 3,500 energy shield or something. I was going down to like 10% mana and life. That's if it didn't just outright kill me. But I went back and looked over that VOD to kind of like look a little closer at the map mods I was running because I wasn't really paying that close of attention, and I'm not paying much more attention today. But I saw a lot of those maps were like penetrates 40, 50% resistance, which is really nasty. Can't clear my throat. Oh, that's pretty big. I might have to go. No, that was a waste. Ah, those last charges are really bad. It's fine. Probably should have went into the logbooks first, but it's okay.
Death is my power to wield.
Oh, I'm just dead here. If I can't move.
Clatter.
I don't know what these are.
Peculiar, but powerful.
Oh yeah, I was using those for a bit.
Go on.
I I think T13s is perfect. I'm just kind of guessing a little bit based on what I'm seeing, but I think T13s will, because I started with what, a tab and a half, tab and a third. I think I'll get about that back from doing the rest of these maps. I think it's gonna be my last one though. It's 9:30. I gotta go eat some food and get ready for bed. I'll finish this out Saturday. Get some actual numbers for it.
All part of my plan.
I will say so far it feels okay though. It's definitely a lot better than I thought it was gonna be after doing it yesterday. That's for sure. Didn't Fubgun make like 10 mirrors off doing Breach Round? Like, this doesn't feel like a 10 mirror strategy, that's for sure. I mean, I know he made a lot off the rares that he's picking up early on too, and just in general, he was ahead of the curve, so. I'd be curious to know what he actually made off of just Breach alone. But he was running his super simple, I think. I went and looked
A gift from fate.
back at his video guide that he made like a month ago. I think he was just running rare monsters. Just blasting through.
Death is my power to wield.
Yeah, he's a farming demon, dude. Guy plays every league 18 hours a day for the first 2 months. He's always stacked up. I was looking at another guy's strategy. There's another Discord server I'll show you guys that it's not very common, but sometimes it has some cool strategies in it. Called MF Academy. See, it's the sign for it. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. This KTO guide posted something about Breach. Yeah, MF Academy. Occasionally you'll find some cool stuff in here. He posted a relatively in-depth thing here about how he was making a bunch of currency. He's also putting the tablets in as he goes. Yeah, you can find some pretty cool stuff in here sometimes. This one league when Arch Nemesis came out, everyone was like a bunch of people quit the game because the strategies were all terrible, and they changed the way the farming worked. They changed a bunch of stuff. Nobody liked it. Um, but I went to that MF Academy place, and I was able to find a strategy that was I made like mirrors and mirrors that league off farming when everyone else was like stuck making 5 divine an hour. Just put all my maps away. Oh no, that's my last one. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll finish out these other half tomorrow. Looks like I'm burning through most of my pretty good ones, so all really have is pathing left. But this is what happened today is this is all I had left was just double modifier ones, and then I got on and just started running some average maps, and it was just like spitting out divine orbs. Like I thought I made like 10 or 15 divines last night, and then after I ran a few today, I came out with like 35 divine, like raw divine, I think. It was insane. Um, so yeah, I think next stream I'll finish this up, and then depending on how it goes, I'll make a video about it. But yeah, I think I'll pause it there. Go get some food. I appreciate you guys stopping in, hanging out. It's pretty cool to see, man. 2 streams in, having 20 people concurrent. It's you know, just a start, but that's cool, man. It's awesome. Yeah, what's up, man? What's up, Reddy? How do you join MF Academy? Probably just go to it. MF Academy on Google, PoE. I'd probably just Google it. I think that's how I joined it. I mean, I joined it a long time ago, but maybe MF Academy Discord. Yeah, just MF Academy Discord. It's not like loaded with strategies or anything, but occasionally you'll get a guy that comes in and shares something that's good, and it's a relatively small Discord, I think. Maybe not small, but um, it's usually stuff that a lot of the community won't see or know about, and sometimes you can find it there first, so you can make a lot of money off it before it goes public to everyone else. 137 rarity, I think that's fine, man. If that's all you can fit, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think if you can push it up a little bit, that'd be ideal. But farm on that for a little bit, build up your currency, and try to get over 150. That's the goal I would set if you're not there yet. And then anything over that is just a little bit of fluff. It's not really doing too much from what I understand. On tap, well, it depends. So as far as the tablets go, I mean, you got to kind of find areas in the mist. So like this would be a bad area. Actually, this would be an insane area. But let's pretend these towers weren't here. Let's say it was just these ones. You're gonna get 3 towers here, and so the outer edge of this is gonna like cut off here, and so this one is gonna be like this, and so like once you get into all these maps around here, they're gonna just be very low quantity. You want to try and find stacks of towers that 3 up here, 3 down here, and then all these become juiced up by all 6 towers. And it's hard to do it perfectly every time. Like sometimes you just go through the mist and you get to a section and it's just dog shit, cut off by water or mountains or whatever. But I'm always looking for like 15 to 17% quantity plus is usually the only thing I'll put in. But yeah, like even down here, see like 58% quantity. It's just a bad layout here over in this area, and I can boost these ones up, but unless I want to jump the river, there's just no way to get these ones up. It's just the nature of it. It's how the layout feels. What's up, Fallout? I'm just about to get off, brother. Do you have to buy good tablets all the time? No, I try and self farm most of mine. Whatever I can't farm myself, like, see, let's take a look. These are all my like. One of my favorite strategies is just running irradiated with quantity and rare monster modifier, have an additional modifier, and I think that's maybe some of the most money I've made is just running that tablet, and I just 3-to-1 them in the reforging bench, and you can self farm most, and then whatever you can't self farm, you can buy for pretty cheap, or at least last time I looked. So, and then when it comes to breach, I mean, I don't know how many breach maps I've run, maybe like 20 or 30, and I got like 20 tablets back. It's pretty easy to sustain quantity tablets. Ritual is a tough one to sustain, super hard. Yeah, I'll be back on Saturday, I think, Savannah, to finish out this test. But if you're curious what I'm doing, just go watch the first like 10 or 15 minutes of this. I explain it, and then the rest is me just running it. But trying to see the potential of breach, see what we can make off of it. Feels all right so far. But all right, boys. Girlfriend is gonna kill me. I need to get some food. Go say hi to her. Do all the good stuff. Catch you boys later.